If you have an anxious attachment style and are ready to see positive changes in your life, then this video is for you. I'm going to share some of my favorite techniques to heal anxious attachment, methods I've used with hundreds of clients that you can start using right now to feel more secure. Hi, I'm Rose Viggiano, master level relationship coach, attachment specialist, and somatic practitioner. On this channel, I teach you tools to heal insecure attachment and create the secure relationships you want and need, whether it's in dating, with your current partner, in a future relationship, or with the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. There are many ways to go about healing or fixing an anxious attachment style. And in this video, I'm going to focus on two main areas: self-regulation and secure communication. First, let's remember what forms an anxious attachment style. If you have anxious attachment, it's likely because in early childhood, the love you received was intermittent. Sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't. Even when it was there, you may have had caregivers so consumed by their own needs, they couldn't focus on you in a healthy, attuned way. This on-again, off-again experience of having your attachment needs met created a sense of doubt and insecurity in relationships. You learned on a body level that love and connection could disappear at any moment. So now you deeply crave relationship and at the same time have a deep fear of being abandoned. And so your default is to need lots of reassurance that love won't go away. Like a partner saying, "I love you and I'm not going anywhere." The challenge for anxious attachers is it's hard to really take in reassurance when you get it. And so you tend to demand more and more reassurance or a different kind of reassurance and still experience fear about what's to come. This can create a lot of conflict with a partner, which without meaning to ends up pushing them away and gets the person with the anxious attachment the opposite of what they really want, which is consistency. If you're identifying with this already, then you might have an anxious attachment style. And if you're not sure, head to the link in the description below and take my mini attachment quiz. You might learn something new about attachment, about yourself, and about your own attachment style. Now, let's jump into some healing actions you can take right now. I already mentioned that for anxious attachers, it's hard to let in love and reassurance. It's also often hard to let in and focus on other good things in the relationship. Particularly, this is because our brains are geared to look for threat. The primary function of the brain is to keep us safe, so it's constantly scanning the environment for potential dangers. It's how we survived millions of years ago, and anxious attachers' brains are wired to seek out abandonment and loss in a close relationship. So they tend to keep their focus entirely on their partner or that close go-to person rather than on themselves. Then their brains tend to make negative interpretations of what a partner does or a close person, how that relationship is going, and will pick out any sign that the partner doesn't love them or is going to leave. So any potential threat. They're much more likely, anxious attachers are much more likely to feel rejected and abandoned, even around little things. But much of this has to do with past experiences rather than what the current relationship is actually like. They don't let in the full picture of the person they're with or the relationship and tend to over-prioritize small hurts. So one way to fix anxious attachment is to bring your attention back to yourself. Notice where you start and the other person stops. Create boundaries about what's your business and what's theirs. Here's a few ways to do this. Spend time alone. For anxious attachers, it's really hard and it's really important that you practice being by yourself. I'm not saying you can't be in a relationship, but focus on things outside of the relationship that build your self-confidence. Engage in activities you enjoy without your partner, without a close other person. If you don't know what those activities might be, make a list. Learn more about who you are, what you like, what you value, what you care about, totally independent of a relationship. You can research ideas for your list, you can scan what's available locally, and go slow. Try one small thing, a hike or a movie by yourself, or take an art class. Another healing action for anxious attachment is to focus on your own feelings. The default for anxious attachment is, do you love me? Will you leave? Well, you're here now, but when will you go? Instead, ask yourself, what do I feel? What do I need right now? What do I want? Is there something I can do for myself to make myself feel better? This helps you recognize and validate your own feelings and needs and gets you away from always being concerned what your partner thinks or feels or that close person in your life. Once you know your feelings, find ways outside the relationship to have them met also. We want a partner to meet some, even a lot of our needs, but they can't meet them all. When we expect a partner to meet every single need, it puts too much pressure on them and the relationship. So it's super important for anxious attachers to find ways to get their feelings and needs met outside the relationship. Create one goal for yourself. Pick a new hobby you've been wanting to try, or learn to cook, or play a sport, or work on a skill, or meet up with friends, or volunteer. Become engrossed in something outside of dating or your partner or the relationship. Do things for you. Anxious attachers tend to overgive, then get resentful when others don't give back at the same level. Focus on your own needs first. This gives you a deeper sense of purpose and self-worth, and helps your whole system feel more supported by you. A great fix for anxious attachment is to start noticing caring behavior. Notice when others show care for you. If you're in a relationship, focus on the way your partner shows care for you. If you're not, focus on a close friend or family member. If you're dating, look at the ways a potential partner shows care. Maybe this person made plans for a date, or a friend cooked for you, or a family member gave you a compliment. Notice the little and big ways other people are showing care for you. Okay, now write them down. Create a running list in the notes section on your phone and add to it every time you see a caring behavior. Read the list often, and most importantly, let it in. Spend time reflecting on each caring action until you notice the impact on your body. You have to let the caring behaviors land. This sends a message to the attachment system, hey, you're safe. You have love in your life. Anxious attachers really, really need this. If you want to do an even better boost for your attachment system, let the person know that you really appreciate their caring behavior. When you have an anxious attachment style and your partner is upset, it can feel like you can't calm down until you get love and reassurance from them that everything is okay. A fix for that is learning self-soothing strategies. What helps you calm down? Is it taking a walk, petting your dog, dancing in the kitchen? Is it a hot shower, meditating, or being in nature? Make a list of activities and actions that soothe you. Secure relationships are learning both about self-soothing and receiving soothing from the other person. We have to be able to do both. So practicing self-soothing techniques is a wonderful way to fix anxious attachments. Anxious attachers benefit from learning secure ways to communicate in relationships. One common trait in anxious attachment is the tendency to lead with complaints. So even when something good happens, they'll follow that up with like, yes, but, and then they'll focus on the bad. I mean, I think we all do this from time to time, but anxious attachment more than others. Yes, we had a nice weekend, but you never really planned things. And that results usually in the other person becoming defensive and there's disconnection in the relationship. So focus on making requests, not just complaining about what you don't like, and look for solutions. This doesn't mean that you don't share concerns, but you communicate from your own feelings and perspective. You don't blame, criticize, or attack the other person. When conflict does arise, keep the discussion focused on the present issue. Don't pile everything on top of each other and bring up all the past problems and hurts. When folks with anxious attachment learn to communicate this way, there is a lot more hope of resolving conflicts and creating a relationship where both people feel heard and respected. Being in a secure relationship is a wonderful way to help heal anxious attachment, and communication plays a really important role. If you want help with communication, join the waitlist for the Awakening Relationships community. I'll drop the link below. We have a whole section on communication. Finally, having healthy boundaries is crucial for anxious attachers. This helps to create a sense of stability and peace inside the system. It really helps you know what's yours and what's the other person's, and helps you to set limits. When you have boundaries, you protect your emotional energy, you avoid feeling overwhelmed, and you can connect with others while staying grounded and feeling secure. For healthy boundaries, start to notice when you feel uncomfortable or drained after you've said yes. Anxious attachers tend to be people pleasers, and they have a hard time saying no, especially when someone asks them directly. So remember, it's okay to say no and step back. If saying no feels scary, start with something small. Say, "I'll get back to you," or "that time doesn't work for me." Look at the things you're saying yes to and see if it's really authentic or not. Healing anxious attachment means telling yourself it's okay to prioritize your own needs, and the world won't fall apart when you do. Boundaries are not you pushing people away. They help you stay connected while taking care of your needs. They allow you to have healthy balance in relationships without losing yourself. So which tool are you going to start with? Spend some time alone, focus on your feelings, pursue things outside the relationship, notice caring behavior, learn to self-soothe, practice secure communication, or work on your boundaries. So many options. Let me know in the comments which one speaks to you. If you want more videos on anxious attachment, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. I love sharing helpful tools to build secure relationships. And remember, what we can't do alone, we can do together.